case number.
Like so many others behind on their rent, Jasmine Cruz says she's living on borrowed time. A federal halt on evictions is set to expire December 31st. Cruz, a single mother who owes her landlord 2 months of rent, was recently issued a warrant to pay it. Every day she wakes up expecting to be evicted.
I'm 25 years old. I'm a single mother and I try on my own. Off of like one income, it's not easy. I've been struggling.
Now, with a 2-month-old son, no job, and unable to pay for childcare during the pandemic, she looks after her son full time. With nowhere else to go and no one to count on, Cruz came here to the Thrive Resource Center. Operated out of a makeshift office in an apartment complex, Monica Delancey helps those in Atlanta who are at risk of being evicted. All are either Black or Latino, and Delancey knows their story well.
They put me out last year to the date, with the Christmas tree on a cold day like this. With the Christmas tree. We don't want you to get to that point. If you have to move, we want you to move with dignity. We want you to move and pack your things up, and we'll find you a place. But we don't want you to be forced out, because kids do not know how to get over that. Adults can. Kids don't know how to.
Kids like 9-year-old Fantasia, who lives with her grandma, Garnell Hodge. Hodge lost her job in the service industry because of COVID.
You got this on your door.
Last week, Hodge says Fantasia started to realize how bad things were when the family got an eviction notice.
I also don't have anywhere to go because places are so high and I don't have much income.
Black and Latino families consistently report low confidence in the ability to pay rent during the pandemic. According to the National Low-Income Housing Coalition, communities of color are the hardest hit by the eviction crisis and represent 80% of people facing eviction. In Atlanta, the United Way says 95% of the families they help who are facing eviction are Black.
There's, as I said, 2,500 applications in process, and there's thousands more.
So you're getting to the point where you can't help everybody that needs help.
Not only can we not help, the funding expires end of December. That is the biggest plea we have. If there's some way we can extend it so that we can keep helping families.
Ladies and gentlemen, this article came out in Newsweek. 35% of Americans could lose their homes in the next 2 months. And you should have seen the CNN video that I showed prior to this. So you can see the impact is horrible out here in the country. And nobody is helping these folks. And you got politicians that can't agree on anything. So this is the end result. And I blame all of this on politicians at this point. They had since July to pass a package, and they have sat on this thing all this time and still squabbling over things that should have been long resolved by now. So this is Newsweek, December 18th, 2020. 35% of Americans could lose their homes in the next 2 months, census report says. Over a third of American adults could face eviction or home foreclosure amid the coronavirus pandemic during the next 2 months, according to new data from the U.S. Census Bureau survey. The latest data from the Census Bureau Household Pulse survey, taken between November 25th and December 7th, found that 35.3% of U.S. adults living in households not current on rent or mortgage, where eviction or foreclosure in the next 2 months is either very likely or somewhat likely. The survey found that residents of Washington, D.C. are the most likely to face eviction or foreclosure, with 67.3% of adults living in households where the prospect is at least somewhat likely. States with a majority of adults also likely to lose their homes, including South Dakota, South Carolina, Georgia, and Oregon. A potential housing crisis sparked by a massive wave of evictions has been a topic of concern for many in the U.S. recently. a federal moratorium on evictions from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention is set to expire December 31st. And remember, unemployment is expiring on December 26th. Despite no signs of the pandemic or its devastating economic impact will be ending anytime soon. Congress has continued to engage in often partisan disagreements that have, they are literally ruining people's lives with their scuffling back and forth. They are. Let's call it what it is. They are ruining people's lives. With a significant share of the population unemployed, a key point of contention that could impact potentially in evictions or foreclosure is how long to supply any weekly unemployment payments. How about as long as the pandemic is going on? You got money for everything else. The new census survey data finds that 31% of American adults expect someone in their household to have lost an employment income in the next 4 weeks. Around 12 million will lose their current unemployment benefits when they expire at the end of the year, according to the Washington Post. Other roadblocks to passing the first stimulus package since the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act was passed by Congress and signed by President Donald Trump almost 9 months ago include disagreements on a fresh round of direct economic payments. Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin and others are blocking efforts towards another $1,200 payment, insisting that the amount is too generous. How the hell is $1,200 too generous? What era are these people living in? Yeah, they want to cut it down to $600. What can people do with $600? Man, please. The Census Bureau describes the household poll survey as an experimental effort for it and other federal statistic gathering agencies to document trends on how individuals are experiencing business curtailment and closure, stay-at-home orders, school closures, change in availability of consumer goods and consumer patterns, and other abrupt and significant changes to American life since the pandemic. Now, the reason why I said, what are you going to do with $600, y'all, is because, look, the stimulus happened April, May, all right? This is December. It was just one check for $1,200. And here we are sitting during the pandemic when it's horrible right now. It's surging everywhere. And they think $1,200, what they gave back in April and May, is too much money now? I just want to know, where do these politicians live? They must live somewhere real cheap, because, $600 after people have been waiting since April and May? That's not enough money. And they know it. They know it. They're trying to starve people out. That's exactly what they're trying to do. Data collection for the survey began April 23rd and will continue through at least Monday. Unlike some other surveys conducted by the Census Bureau, data from the Household Pulse Survey is released quickly, occurring on a bi-weekly schedule during the latest of 3 phases. So this is how they feel, ladies and gentlemen, about you getting another stimulus. They don't want you to have, this Republican with Ron Johnson don't want you to have $1,200 this time around because he said that's too much money. I don't know what planet that's too much money on, but he says it's too much money. And it's just like the $600 weekly benefit. They don't want you to have that. $600 is too much money. Again, where is $600 too much money? Where do they go in the grocery stores and see the prices going up? Because prices are going up. It's not getting cheaper out here. There's a recession going on, and there are not enough jobs to go around. So that BS about you don't have incentive to look for work. What work? Mitch McConnell, post all those jobs and make sure it's well over the amount of people that are unemployed. Don't fall short on it. Boy, I tell you, this is why you can't have them old relics sitting in Washington, D.C. They are so out of touch with the average person in this country. See, they try to connect to you every single election cycle. But then once they're in office, their concern is not with you. Their concern is with big business and what they can do to shield them from getting sued, shield them from giving you paid leave if you get COVID, shield them from you suing them if you get COVID while you're working. And that's all they're interested in. And when the next election cycle come, here they come again. I wonder why they don't go to big business for all of their votes and it come to the citizens that they're screwing over instead. Oh, this place is a trip. All of us are not upset that it's falling. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.